Using a 19mm socket, let's go ahead and remove our lug nuts. If your vehicle is equipped with a hubcap like ours, go ahead and grab that hubcap or center cap, pop that off, grab the wheel, pull it off, and set it aside. You want to go ahead and open up your cotter pin. Ours is pretty rusted, so it's probably going to crumble. Go ahead and work that out. Let's go ahead and remove this nut. Using a 17mm socket, go ahead and remove this nut. I want to go ahead and try and release the tie rod end from the strut itself. By doing the two hammers, it actually shocks the unit right here and pops that tie rod end loose. Using a 12mm socket, I'm going to go ahead and remove the bolt holding the flex line to the strut. I'm going to use a 10mm socket to remove the ABS line to the strut. I'm going to go ahead and use a 10mm socket right here to go ahead and remove this bolt holding the ABS sensor to the knuckle. I'm going to go ahead and grab our ABS sensor. I'm going to work that out, rocking it back and forth and gently pulling outward. Using a 19mm wrench and a 19mm socket, let's go ahead and remove the nut off of the strut bolt here. Now what we're going to do is go ahead and work these bolts out. Now we did spray these down with some rust penetrant. You want to use a 14mm socket to go ahead and remove these nuts. This is the only nut supporting that strut underneath, so you want to do this slowly. Maybe have someone grab that strut, or just slowly do this and then reach around the side of the fender and you can grab that strut. We're going to take our strut and we're going to line up the upper bearing plate studs, feed that up into the body. I'm going to hold the strut in place while we at least secure one of the nuts here to hold it up. Let's go ahead and do so. If you can, go ahead and get all three on there. Let's go ahead and snug those down. Go ahead and torque these down to 33 foot-pounds. Let's go ahead and line up our knuckle with the strut. Work that up into place. Get that bottom bolt lined up. Go ahead and get our nuts installed. Thread those on as far as you can. Now go ahead and snug those down. Let's go ahead and snug these down. Go ahead and torque these down to 80 foot-pounds. Install our ABS wire bracket. Put this little tab in the hole there. Go ahead and get the bolt started. Once we get that started, we're going to go ahead and install our ABS sensor right here. Line this up inside. Go ahead and work the sensor into position. Then go ahead and get the bolt started. Snug these down. Go ahead and get that tie rod end lined up. Get our nut started here. Let's go ahead and snug that up. Now that we have this nut snugged down, let's go ahead and torque it down to 32 foot-pounds. Now what we want to do is we want to line up the notch in the castle nut with the hole in the ball joint shaft here, so we can go ahead and put our cotter pin in. And take your cotter pin, feed that through. And go ahead and bend this over. Just use your cutters and cut off the excess. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my pliers. I'm going to grab the inner tie rod, and I want to go ahead and simply twist it and level off our tie rod end here. Go ahead and install the wheel. Now if your vehicle is equipped with the hubcap that locks on with the lug nuts, you want to go ahead and locate the notch in the hubcap for your valve stem. Line that up. And we'll get those lug nuts started. I'm going to go ahead and snug down the lug nuts. Let's go ahead and torque our wheel down to 80 foot-pounds.